Hi everyone, welcome to Eating Secret. This is a video that everybody has been requesting. When I say everybody, I don't literally mean everybody, but it feels like everybody. Loads of people have been asking me to do this soap. So these molds here might be a clue as to what it is. Today we're going to be making Little Miss Cupcake, which is a loaf of soap that has a cupcake embed all the way through, and it's topped off with cupcake embeds as well. So we're going to start off by pouring our ready mixed batter. I'm going to pour in 1 kilo at the moment, and we're going to be using blue-green mica from Mineral Makeup Ingredients. I'm going to put, it looks like half a teaspoonful here, but it'll be a full teaspoonful because this is quite a large spoon that I'm using. And then we'll just blend that in. I'm only doing 1 kilo at a time just because it's easier to pour into small shaped molds when you don't have a full container. And I'm pouring the ones at the back first so that I'm not leaning in. Whoops, a bit too much in that one. So I'm not leaning into any soap that I've got in front of me. You can maneuver these a little bit, so we're just going to give them a bit of a wobble at either end, and that'll level them out and fill the molds properly. So we're going to run out of batter here, but I will refill this and keep pouring. Okay, we're now at that point where the mixture is ready to divide into 3. So you can see it's not ready to pipe, just a little bit longer and we'll be there. Mei Chang takes ages to saponify, so you won't get soap on a stick or a fast moving batter with that essential oil. So why have we let it thicken? It's just simply because we're putting 3 colours into a piping bag, and if they're all different textures, it's not going to pipe nicely at all. One of these days I will do a demonstration and show you exactly what I mean. So that's one batch altogether for the quantity that I've made. But what I'll probably do is I'll do it in half the quantity, because half the quantity will be more than enough to make one huge loaf of soap. Mine will actually do 3 loaves probably. Okay, so let's add some colour, shall we? we're going with blue green again from Mineral Makeup Ingredients. About a teaspoonful in there. We're also using Mineral Makeup Ingredients Orange 220Q. That's the it's either classed as fluorescent orange or neon. A heaped teaspoonful of that, and then a heaped teaspoonful of Mineral Makeup Ingredients Pink 210. And not putting the titanium dioxide in just means these colours will be a lot brighter. It is almost ready to pipe, so your soap's ready to pipe when it's not just going to pour out of the piping bag like a tap. Okay, so we'll get our piping bag and nozzle ready. I couldn't get any kitchen roll, all the kitchen roll has gone, so I'm back to using my cut up old towels and tea towels, which is probably a better idea anyway. So I'm using the 9FT piping nozzle from Simply Does It. You see it's got a lot of spikes in the star, and that just gives you a lot of definition on the cupcake. It's still a little bit loose, this, but I might just give it a go. Right, so the way I do it, I mean, you can put it in cling film and all that and roll it up, but I just find it fairly easy to take a blob of that, a blob of this, and then a blob of the pink, and pop it in to your piping bag. And then you get all of the colours in there. Yeah, it's still running, it's just running out of the bag, so it's not quite ready, but we can still add soap to the bag, and once it's thick enough we can start piping. So as soon as that's ready to pipe, we'll be back again. Okay, it's time to pipe now. So you can see I've moved all of the moulds to the front of the counter. Okay, so what we're doing now is I've sprayed rubbing alcohol on all of these, and I'm turning them round so I can get to the other side, and we're just going to spray it away. I'll just put it in a big container now with big spray gun, like a cleaning material spray gun. And as of this moment, it's actually Tuesday now. Since you saw me piping, we're on to another day, and at this very moment the country is in lockdown now, and John has just come home from work, so even they've stopped working. There's a bit of confusion over who's supposed to stay at work and who doesn't, but I'm sure they'll clear that up today. Anyway, you probably don't want this whole video to be me talking about coronavirus, because we're doing, I guess it would be good to look back on that the day we did these loaves, Little Miss Cupcake, is when the coronavirus was happening. So right, that's it for this part. If you're not going to use these today, right away, cover them up straight away as soon as you've sprayed them with cling film, and you'll still be able to come back tomorrow, and they won't be hard on the exterior. At the end of the day, the quickest way to do this is to make the minis one day, unmold them the next, spray them, and then get them made into a loaf as quick as you can. So we're going to have to unmold all of these because they also need spraying on the bottom. I won't be doing these one by one. What I'll actually do is I'll line them all up like this, and then I'll spray spray the bases just like that so we can get them all. You must do that because it just softens the outside and enables it to stick to the soap that you're going to pour on. If you miss any bits, it might separate. Alright? Okay, so what you're going to do is, they're all on the side now. You're just going to take your alcohol spray. Do not use water for this. It must be rubbing alcohol. I've used water in the past and the soaps have ended up going rancid, and I have done it a few times and it was always when I used water. So don't use water, use rubbing alcohol for that. I'm just going to leave them for 10 minutes to sort of dry off, which will soften the outer skin, and then we're going to get ready to pour the soap loaves. Okay, so before we proceed, I've got something really clever to show you. I didn't realise, but a lady called Lisa Cunningham sent me these clips for the silicone liners ages ago, and she made them herself, and what a fantastic product. I just wanted to check who sent me them before I upload the video, before I video the video basically, and I realise it's the lady Lisa from I Dream in Soap, and she has even mastered putting your company name on there. So if you need any of these, just get in touch with Lisa at I Dream in Soap. I'll be putting all the links to her, so if you're interested in these, all the links are in the description box below, and she'll specifically make them to fit your soap molds and liners. She does have a demonstration video on Instagram that you can see, and you'll see that the shape of hers is different because the height of the loaf compared to the silicone liner is different, and of course so is the width. So what you'll need to do is you will need to measure the inner, well, Lisa will explain it properly to you, but you need to measure the depth of the wood plus the liner, and that gives, and then the depth that it needs to go down to so it actually is clipping on to your liner. But as I said, Lisa will explain that in when you get in touch with her, but she is selling these, and I think they'll be a fantastic useful tool for all soap makers around the world if you're using silicone liners. Okay, so we're ready to pour the first layer into the soap. So I'm going to fill this up to 1500 mils, and I want my lower layer, if you remember the last time I did it, to be fairly bright yellow. Again, we're using the Mei Chang essential oil. And I'm putting just over an ounce in there because it's nice and strong. Now let's just give it a blend. Give it a blend, give it a stir, and now let's pour it into our moulds. So you can see I have 3 moulds here. Usually my batch of soap makes 2 loaves. I might really, by rights, this should make 4, but it did only used to make 3, so let's go with that. So we're just going to pour a layer that covers the bottom of the mould. So I'm going to do my very best to try and keep you entertained while we're all on lockdown. Obviously not every video might be a soap making video. I'll do other things to keep you entertained or keep you company, because I realise a lot of people out there are actually on their own, and this might be the only contact they have with anyone is watching the internet or watching the TV. So I'm going to do my best to give you good content to keep you entertained and keep you company while we're on lockdown. I mean, I don't know how long that's going to be. I did see, gosh, I'm droning on about it again, and I was going to try not to, but I see that President Trump isn't planning on having lockdown for more than a month, because that's going to create an even bigger problem, he said. So we'll see what happens. Now for the next part, while that bottom layer of yellow is setting up, because you do need to set it up fairly well, because if you put the cupcakes into that now, they'll just sink right to the bottom. And I like it to have a layer, as you look, and when the soap's cut, I like it to have a layer of yellow and then the cupcake standing on top of that. Now for the topping, once we've poured it, we're going to need some soaps cut in half ready for the topping. So for each loaf we're going to need 20 halves. So we're going to cut, well, it's because we need 10 each and I'm doing 3 loaves, I'm going to need to cut 30 of these. Now I need 27 at least, because I think they fit in rows in the soap. I know you can fit 9 in there, so I need 27 definitely for inside the loaf. So oh, there's loads here. Yeah, I've got loads, definitely got enough. So we'll just cut through these, and then you can see that cutting through you get all those lovely colours. These ones are darker than the ones that I used to do, because I had a look at my old video, but the insides of these look much nicer than the outsides. Of course you can do this with a wire if you want to, but because they're small I prefer to do with the knife. Any that are a bit misshaped I'm just going to pop to the side. I didn't count them, so this would be 12. Check it. No, it's still too soft. The soap's still not stiff enough, but I'm going to have to get going with it because the soap that's in my pan is thickening up. And I'm a bit worried if I let it thicken up too much. Actually, it's just right now. It's ready. Did you watch The Masked Singer? I know you probably didn't, but when it started I thought, oh, what on earth is this, excuse my French, crap. What is this crap that they're putting on the telly now? Oh, no way, what a load of rubbish is this. Anyway, I trick myself into actually watching the first one, and you know what was addictive about it is trying to guess who is behind the mask. I have to say the costumes were fantastic, but there was no one really exciting that was unveiled. But did you watch it? Let me know, and let me know what did you think of it. Obviously it's been on for 2 seasons in the US, but we've literally just got it the first season. Well, a few months ago. It finished a few weeks ago here. This soap is actually perfect because it is still a little bit soft, so you can push them in a little bit, but stiff enough that it's holding them in place, which is exactly what you want. I'm excited about this because it's a long time since I've had it, and I can't tell you how many people have been asking for it or asking for a video. So I hope you're really happy that we've got a video, especially for all those people that have been desperately wanting to see me remake this soap. So that is all of the cupcakes placed perfectly, so you can see there's a nice gap down the outside. So now we're going to mix up the next layer. So we'll mix a lighter yellow for the next layer, and then there should be one more layer that goes on top of that. Okay, the soap I had was far too thick, so what I've done is I've made half a batch of fresh soap. The other soap that got too thick, I've just put that into 2 loaf molds, and I'm going to give it to people that are very, very needy, like single parents, people that just cannot afford to buy soap. I'm going to give it to them. If you were one of those people, please get in touch. Bear with it because I can't give it to everyone. But if you're desperate, don't be embarrassed. Just get in touch with me through the website. I won't be telling anyone about it, nobody at all, not even my family. Your names, nothing will be shared at all. So please don't be embarrassed. Just get in touch. I mean, we probably can't send any soap out at the moment anyway because of the lockdown. But maybe later we'll be able to do that. It'll just be, it won't be fancy soap. It probably won't be coloured soap. It'll just be bog standard. I mean, it won't be like commercial soap because it's still the recipe. It just won't have all the colours and everything in there. Right, so I'm just going to put a little bit of colour into this one here, and again we'll pop 25 mils of fragrance in there, essential oil. But I am going to put a little bit of vanilla cream fragrance from just the soap, just a tiny drop, because this accelerates trace. I just want it to speed this up a little bit. It'll make hardly any difference to the fragrance, but hopefully it'll speed it up. I might not have put enough in there, but I'm also going to put some titanium dioxide in there. And that's just to lighten this layer up, and that will help also with speeding up the how fast it sets. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour it down one side and down the other side, and just do that until I've used all the batter up that I've got in my jug. And then just make it so they're all about the same depth. I just flooded over the side of my mould, my silicone there, so that's how you get that out. Just squash it up and it'll push it up and then flood back into your loaf. Right, let's give that a tap, and that'll level out that next layer. So I'm just going to let those set up as well, not solid, just enough that that layer can take the weight of the next layer. Okay, so you can see that is set up already. This is the other half of the soap that we haven't put any fragrance or essential oil into yet. And just that tiny drop of vanilla cream, which normally gives you rice on a stick, by the way. No, not rice on a stick, soap on a stick, soap on a stick, yeah. Has made that set up fabulously, and as I said, it won't taint the fragrance at all. So let's mix a tiny, even less of the yellow colour in this time. Just a prick on the end. And more titanium dioxide. I should have took the spoon out first. Of course we need fragrance as well. Just gives us a lovely pale lemon cream. And let's see if we've got enough just to pour onto the soap there. I'm hoping we haven't made too little, so just pour it right down the middle across the top, and then it'll run into all those lovely little grooves that you've got. Could have done with a bit more, to be honest, but it doesn't matter because we need to pour all those other cupcakes on top, which is going to lift the height up a lot more. And we'll just give them all a tap down. So by this time you can take these off, don't need those anymore. Just pop those closer together. And then, actually it's probably not soft enough yet. Well, it's okay. So we're just going to lay the cupcakes side by side all the way down. Actually, I think I used to do it that way, didn't I? Put the point into the center. Yeah, that's better. I haven't got my gloves on now, so if I recommend you do leave your gloves on. I never talk about safety on this channel because there's so many different things and so many interpretations, and if you're going to make soap, please look up all the safety before you ever start making soap. I can't be responsible. It's just the same as if you're watching cooking videos, you know. Learn all the safety aspects of the cooking or any type of video at all. All we're doing here is showing you different techniques. And entertaining you, of course. As I say, I could have done with a little bit more soap in there, but it's okay, it's fine. Sometimes you can make soap far too high anyway. So when you've cut them in half, you shouldn't need to spray the inside because it'll be, your soap will still be nice and soft. If you do get any, if you take your gloves off and you do get any soap on your fingers, straight to the tap and give your hands a good wash and a good rinse. I don't know if I've said before, I'm sure I have, there really is a lot of scaremongering around soap making and lye. Sometimes I think people maybe do it to put you off, but some people really care about those aspects of safety. And while it's really important to them, it's not always important to everyone, is it? But it is important because we don't want you to burn yourself, and I think also it probably affects everybody differently. Like for me a lye burn is more just a slight stinging sensation that you can easily bear. For others it might be much worse than that, and then other people have said to me it doesn't bother them. So of course you can still get the lye burns from the soap butter. Now we're going to use some biodegradable glitter here. It's got to be the yellow, and I'll put a link in the description box below where you can find biodegradable glitter. And there we are. There we have our 3 loaves of Little Miss Cupcake. So hopefully all of you that were desperately wanting to see this video and buy it, of course, a lot of you were wanting to purchase. I don't know what's going to happen about delivery and things like that. We're just going to have to play it by ear. I know I have orders that are supposed to be going out today. No delivery drivers arrived yet, which is very, very unusual. They're usually here by now. So I actually really do have a feeling they're not coming. So everybody stay safe and let's look out for each other and help each other where we can, and hope the world isn't ending. God bless each and every one of you. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all very, very, very soon for another video. Bye for now. Just a minute. Just a minute. Okay, let's cut and see all these cute, different sized cupcakes within the slice of soap. So we've got a tiny, tiny one there and a larger one there. It looks cute, doesn't it? It's really nice. So these slices are 1.5 inches because what I had to do, this is a shallower soap than I usually make. So I had to weigh the soap and then I divided it by 190 grams, which is what I'm cutting the weight at. You can see there are no gaps whatsoever around the cupcake. Same on the top here. Ooh, that one's a little bit different. And the reason, I'm sure it's obvious why they're all different sizes, is because when you're cutting through a cupcake like this, you might just cut a sliver off, or you might cut one right through the middle or in between. That reminds me of a cup of coffee. So, does anybody know how this coronavirus actually started? John had heard that a bat scratched a chicken in Wuhan, so I don't know if that's true or not.
Not true.
Not true?
Not true at all.
Have you heard anything about how it started? Nobody knows. There you go, nobody knows. Right, so I'm going to continue cutting this wonderful soap and then I'll be back when I've finished all of it.